The Tracksmith Envoy has logged thousands of miles, but it's the person behind the wheel that runners remember most. Joachim has spent years crossing the country supporting races, leading shakeout runs, and connecting with communities everywhere he goes. We caught up with him at the Broken Arrow Sky Race in Tahoe this past weekend. These are the stories of the Tracksmith Envoy. Let's go. What is up, running family? Welcome to the Rizzo Run Club Podcast. My name is Rizzo. I am based in Los Angeles. I am an LA Marathon ambassador. I am your host. I have been running for the better part of 3 decades. My parents were both marathon runners, and I was born into this sport. I've been watching marathons my whole life as a kid, so it's an honor to have a podcast, share some stories with amazing runners, amazing leaders in the community, to inspire you to start your own running club, start your own running company, but most of all, just go out for a run, because running is magic. So what is also magic is today we are recording from Tahoe. We are here for the Broken Arrow Sky Race. I am running this race. My next guest is running all weekend as long. We're going to get into that in a second, but we've been trying to get my next guest on our show forever. He is known all over the country. If you're familiar with the brand Tracksmith and you have gone to a major marathon in this country, you have seen the Tracksmith Envoy, the shakeout runs, and who's the guy in charge? This guy here to my left. Please welcome Joachim Cassel. Welcome to the Rizzo Run Club Podcast.
Thank you, Rizzo. It's amazing to be here. Well, beautiful, sunny Palisades, and obviously with you.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in. I'm excited to chat.
I'm so excited because this has been in the making forever. You lived in Los Angeles for a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and we try to connect in Los Angeles, but we're both so busy. We're finally here, and I should note, though, that Joachim has left Tracksmith. There's no bad blood, right? We'll get into that.
Correct.
And, he is on to new endeavors, but he's here racing all weekend. So explain to us, what are you doing this weekend?
What am I doing this weekend? Well, Broken Arrow is one of the biggest trail races, in America, let alone in the world. There are races all the way from not a vertical kilometer, an ascent, which is about 3.5 miles, all the way up to 46K.
Yes.
And I'm running the Triple Crown. So that's going to be the ascent tomorrow morning, and then a 46K Saturday morning, and then a 23K Sunday morning.
Yeah, amazing. And we should also note that this guy just got off a plane from London, because he's back in London now, and he's completely jet lagged.
No, absolutely. If you can't tell, this accent is not an Angelino accent. I'm from London, flew in yesterday, had an absolute nightmare with the travel, delayed planes, almost lost luggage, but we made it here. The kind of the running mentality helps a lot, just staying zen, staying cool, and making sure that you can get it done. So I'm glad, got to Tahoe about 3 hours ago, and not feeling too bad, ready to see what we can do this weekend.
Yeah, amazing. So back in London, you left Boston, you left Tracksmith.
Yeah.
Again, no bad blood. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in America, having just left, I was in America for 5 years in total. Moved to Los Angeles for grad school, where I was at UCLA.
Go Bruins.
Go Bruins, always. And I think, it was incredible to be in LA, where just the run clubs and communities are just so thriving and supportive and interconnected. And that's kind of where I fell in love with that aspect of the sport, as well as obviously the trails there are incredible, and that's kind of what brought us here. But I spent 2 years in LA, obviously breathed all of that in, ran mostly with Adidas runners, but tried to really spread my wings and kind of meet as many people as possible. And that's obviously how me and Rizzo connected. When I graduated from UCLA, I got incredibly lucky to jump in with Tracksmith. They had just built the Tracksmith Envoy. Check it out on Instagram at Tracksmith Envoy if you haven't seen it already, but it is a touring van that pops open from the side, becomes its own little standalone pop-up, and it's Tracksmith's way of kind of bringing the brand to the people in whatever capacity makes the most sense, whether that's a community hub or a showroom, supporting our wholesale partners, or having little pop-up shops, either at major marathons, minor marathons, or just standalone events, whether that's the Olympic trials, or if we just wanted to rock up to LA and hang out for 6 weeks, like we did in 2024.
Yeah, what year did that start?
It was 2023.
Okay.
So there were 2 months in the summer where we had 2 interns driving the van around and really kind of having that hot girl summer. And then I was brought on to kind of take it from there and see how we can build it going forward.
Yeah, and there is only one Envoy truck, right?
There's only one Envoy truck. So when you see that in Boston, in LA, in Houston, Texas, it's the same one driving around.
It has to have like 200,000 miles on it, right?
It's been a journey. I think we got 40,000 in those first 6 to 8 months, driving back and forth across the country all the time. We've now started to ship it for those longer distances. So driving the 40 hours from Boston to LA wasn't necessarily the best use of our time, so we can put it on a flatbed truck, fly over, meet her, and be ready to rock.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, how do you ship that? So you put it on a flatbed?
Put it on a flatbed, they're incredible. They'll just rock up, drive her up, strap her down, and then you're off.
Yeah.
I remember once when I was actually moving from LA to Boston, finally, we shipped the van off. I jumped in my car with all my stuff. And about 2 days later, driving through Utah, I passed the van and the truck, and I was like, there she is in the wild.
Wow, amazing.
Party guy.
That's so cool. I've always been fascinated with the truck and all the amazing stories you probably have. Like, if you could think of like, what is one of the funniest things that happened on the road, or?
Oh man, I think the story that always jumps to mind when people ask that. I was in Philly, and I was not staying in the best area. I kind of turn up to these cities and I don't know where to go. I kind of book an Airbnb where it looks right, and then I'm the wrong side of the tracks, and we'll try and survive that week. But I was in this car park and was pulling out ready to leave, and I guess just a fan of the brand saw me, got so excited, backed up to let me out, but in his excitement he backed into another car. So he rear-ended this guy who was just waiting for the red light, and I just had to kind of tentatively pull out and be like, thank you. Yeah, stay in touch.
That's funny. And when you travel, do you travel with someone else, or you're generally like driving by yourself?
A range of things. So I think the beauty of the van, obviously Tracksmith is this huge, it's actually quite a small company. It's about 40 employees, but with an obviously global footprint, and that's kind of one of the best things about the brand. It's still very connected to its roots, connected to the founder, Matt Taylor. And you can really kind of feel that energy when you're working there. But obviously Tracksmith's been around for 12 years, so it still is this kind of big company with its processes. The van, however, was this little like entrepreneurial vehicle where we could kind of experiment and explore and figure out what worked, especially in these cities that we hadn't really turned up in before.
We have a little
friend. Right, see ya.
The dog pulled up right now.
Depending on what made sense at the time, and it would change week on week. So very often I would drive solo, and then people would fly out to meet me for the bigger events. Occasionally, especially when we had kind of big wholesale trips, I'd be joined by one of our wholesale managers, and we would kind of bop around the country and go visit stores and host these events, host these runs, and kind of do product education for staff and meet these run specialty stores that we were partnering with. It was all sorts of things, but sometimes solo, sometimes with friends, and always fun.
And you must have just met some amazing people all across the country, from all the different cities and races. I mean, I could only imagine the relationships you have now.
It's the coolest part of the job. Obviously running is so special, and the people that are so committed to the sport, obviously you kind of have those shared values, have this kind of shared passion. So it's not too difficult to rock up to a new city, meet some new people, and just instantly vibe with them. And again, the people you're connected with are these run specialty stores in these cities that are known for being the kind of cool cultural centers, the hubs. Or you go to these races and you meet people at expos. I think I've seen you at 10 different cities around the country. And I've met so many people that kind of obviously do all of this marathon tourism. So it's always nice to see those familiar faces, those friends.
It's like a traveling circus, I always say,
100%.
Right?
And it's always the same people.
Always the same people, yeah.
But no, they're a huge network of friends, and I feel so fortunate to have met so many people. And again, America is just so welcoming and friendly and keen to make those connections. So it's been, one of the best parts about being here.
Sure. My wife just showed up right now. Also, besides, going from city to city with the Envoy, you always organize a shakeout run too. So that's kind of cool. You always get to run in every city, and as we know, the best part about going to a new city is running it and explore it, right?
Absolutely. So we kind of had this cookie cutter structure that we kind of bring into cities if we needed to, or if we kind of had partners, we could use them and let them kind of dictate what to do. We don't want to rock up to a new city and tell you how to run your city, how to kind of be Atlanta, how to be Los Angeles. So we definitely trust in that local expertise. Coming in, doing a shakeout run, having coffee and donuts afterwards, obviously kind of being at a race expo and seeing the energy there, and then having cheer zones after parties for races. The Tracksmith was founded by runners to celebrate the sport. So any opportunity we had to just kind of add something and bring something to the table, we were there for it.
Yeah. We actually first met in New York City Marathon many years ago. So that's where I first met you. But I remember the Eugene Olympic Trials, track and field.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We were there. And you had a shakeout run. And it was so funny because I was there with my friend Kat from LA, and we were going to go run at Preece Trail, right? You're familiar, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you're like, guys, we're going to just, go out for an easy run. You said something to the effect of, we're not trying to qualify for the Olympics, right? And then let's go. Boom. Everyone was going like 6-minute pace.
Tracksmith attracts some crazy people. We support all paces, we support all people, but I mean, we definitely have that higher end. And no funny, even before the trials, my first weekend with Tracksmith was in Eugene for USA's in 2023. And I remember kind of negotiating my contract on Wednesday, booking my flight tickets for the Friday, then hosting my first shakeout on that Saturday morning. Took my brand new white Tracksmith shoes on Preece Trail, and they came back very red. So watch out for that if you're ever in Eugene. But no, we had, I think, 2 packs that day. One was going 6:45 pace, and one was going 7:15 pace.
Yes.
So obviously the fast and the slow crew. We did I think Tracksmith obviously has a reputation for being for those faster runners. And I don't want to take anything away from that. I think we want to support anyone and everyone. And I think one of the things that I really enjoyed doing was kind of opening it up and having, especially when we had more staff there and we could spread out pace groups and really have from 7-minute all the way to 12-minute miles at these shakeouts, making sure that everyone felt the kind of sense of community, the support. Eugene's special as well. People.
It's a different place.
It's a different place.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember the marathon Olympic trials in Orlando. It was a nice, easy run. We ran along the course that day. Everyone was just on a good, easy pace.
Oh, it was heavenly.
But Eugene and Tracksmith do not mix well.
I mean, the hype in the air, there's something electric, and it's incredible to be around Hayward Field, and especially in June. We actually did shakeouts every single day of the Olympic trials, 10 straight days, and sometimes we had just 2 people rock up, sometimes we had 20 to 30, and it was just great to be there and meet so many people. Obviously, the super fans of the sport that are flying into Eugene to see the trials.
Yeah, absolutely. You saved me that day. You remember, they wouldn't let my camera in.
Oh, yeah.
And I had to give it to you. So, I always remember that. Going back to Tracksmith, of course, the company celebrates all runners. A few years ago, there was a controversy with the shirt, and I'm sure that when it came back, the attention that it gained, you guys obviously got it in meetings and just tried to figure that out. I mean, it just went the wrong way, right?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, with stuff like that, I think that's probably the jeopardy of having a small team. I think obviously when you have a massive marketing department, this can go through all sorts of checks and balances.
Sure.
Someone will kind of catch when the copy or the wording isn't quite right or isn't telling what you want it to say. I think, with the BQ singlet and with, I forget his name, but the founder of the Boston Marathon saying this is not a jogging race.
Jack Fleming. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a terrible moment. And we're never sat in the office thinking like, let's build up fast runners and push everyone down. It's just, let's celebrate these runners, let's celebrate those runners, and let's let everyone have their moment. And it's tough because obviously you can say we love people that can run sub-3 marathons, then suddenly you're alienating the majority of runners out there. And that's something we never want to do, but trying to like toe that line of, I think the ethos is any runner that commits to the training, to improving, to the self-betterment, whether you're improving from a 6-hour marathon to a 5-hour marathon or a 2:30 to a 2:20. I mean, if anything, the kind of lower end of that is it's more impressive. It's people that doesn't necessarily come naturally to, but they're really pushing and striving. And Tracksmith 100% loves and appreciates and respects that. We want to celebrate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and getting to know you guys, I understand that. But I think a lot of the running community across the nation, the world, they kind of took it the wrong way, obviously, but it's really not the case. So.
No, and I've loved being in all these cities and kind of hosting these community runs. And I think that's done a lot to kind of push forward that message that we are for all runners, kind of having these community runs where we are kind of guiding people from the front to the back. And and there's no elitism, there's no stigma about however you want to show up to a community run. So.
Yeah, definitely. You know, any thoughts on that Nike Boston?
Oh, man.
I'm sure you guys are like, oh, now that it's their turn, right?
I mean, it's so funny how easily you can misstep, and the court of public opinion can be so brutal. That was a terrible campaign by Nike.
Sure.
And they obviously shifted pretty quickly and course corrected, but once it's out there, it's hard to. People have a short memory, so it's there. But I mean, we're here celebrating Nike this weekend. And although I think what ACG are doing is fantastic. They're really investing in trail, and it's cool to see that.
Yeah. And Tracksmith was also trying to move into the trail, not trying to, but also, right?
Yeah, and it's something that we've been really intrigued by. Most of our kind of founding team are definitely road runners, but all around kind of Massachusetts and New England, there are all these kind of forest dirt paths, and that's a kind of staple of our training anyway. So stepping into trail was something we've kind of always been interested in. We've kind of always had small capsules, and then last year was the first time we had a more involved trail collection. It's such a funny thing to experience from the inside, because Tracksmith's obviously very small, it's very road focused, so to kind of come out with its first trail line, you can't kind of have this wide ranging product assortment that's going to kind of make everyone happy.
Right.
So you kind of have to pick and choose, and we're obviously such a Massachusetts and New England brand that, I mean, we're here in California where it's beautiful and sunny, and we're going to want to wear as little as possible and just try and avoid the heat, whereas even now in New England there's snow-capped mountains and terrible winds up there, so those kind of merino layers are phenomenal. And trail's fantastic, and the diversity across the country is so wide. It's a hard move, but I think Tracksmith is committed to it, and we're going to be taking those steps to kind of round out that assortment and really build it out. And I think it's going in the right direction. It just might take a couple more steps forward.
Yeah, sure. Going back to the Envoy and your experiences, was there a particular marathon weekend in a particular city that surprised you, that you felt like, wow, there's a lot of magic here? I mean, obviously in New York and in Chicago, there's magic there in those weekends. We can't deny that. But was there some race in America, maybe a couple, because it's hard to narrow down one? I was going to say the majors, obviously it goes without saying that they're incredible. I'd say the two that stand out, firstly, Houston Marathon.
There's something really special about that race. It's organized incredibly well. It's so flat and fast, and I feel that everyone always has a good day there. The city it's interesting. It's got some of the best food I've had in America. I'd probably say my favorite restaurant in America is in Houston, Texas.
Wow.
Street to kitchen, Thai and bougie is their motto. Yeah, shout out.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, Fleet Feet Houston we partnered with, and they're fantastic. They're so driven and just absolute kind of pylons of the community, and they really look after their people. And then just, the community that comes through and enjoys it. There's the crowd support all the way around is phenomenal. The weather, it's always a treat. I'd say the 3 times I've been to Houston, I'll always fly in. The marathon's in early January for context. So I'll fly in midweek and it'll be about 85, 90 degrees and horribly humid. By race day, it's probably down to about 35 to 40. And by the time I'm driving off, the Envoy will be iced in. And I need to let it thaw in the sun before I can even get her moving.
That's funny,
So yeah, Houston is magic. And then I only went once, but I have a lot of love for grandmas in Duluth.
Grandmas,
Yeah, that's a beautiful part of the country, and it's obviously so kind of isolated compared to anywhere else that you obviously kind of have to make a trip there. So I feel like a lot of people miss out on Minnesota and Grandma's Marathon. But again, it's stunning. It's a point-to-point course along the lake. Mill City Running is the run specialty store in Minneapolis, and they're amazing people, and they always show up with their pre-race shakeouts, their after parties, and they obviously have a lot of people out on the course running and cheering and spectating, and that was a magical weekend as well.
Wow. I was just talking about Grandma's Marathon on a YouTube video a couple of days ago promoting LA Marathon. Sold out in record time this year, massive.
Yeah, I mean, I think even 2 years ago it hadn't sold out, and we were talking about this being the absolute kind of next gem to build up.
Yeah.
But yeah, incredible that it's kind of already hit that.
Yeah.
Oh, and one final shout out to Boulder.
Boulder, that's right.
That's the race.
Yes.
Wow. It's the second largest 10K in America because Peachtree just pips it. But yeah, running, obviously Boulder is stunning. Colorado is one of my favorite states. And then, for anyone that doesn't know, it's a 60,000 person 10K, but it's so well organized that you would have no idea that you're running with that many people. There are heats every minute and a half from 7 a.m. all the way to about 11. So a lot of people will kind of run and try and get their time and then go back out on the course for a fun lap because everyone's got slip and slides in the front yard. They've got jello shots. There are Elvis impersonators. There are families walking their first 10K together. It's just one massive block party around Boulder, which finishes with the pros running after everyone else, after the general race is finished. So you can pack the stadium, you can watch it on the big screen, and then see these unbelievable athletes run in and do their final lap of the stadium once you've finished your day.
And stadium ends in University of Colorado, right?
Yeah, in the CU Boulder stadium.
And it's like jam-packed, the stands.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I've always wanted to know your thoughts on, best energy. One of my questions was going to be, is there a particular city that you travel to? You're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get here because the food is amazing. And it's Houston.
It's Houston, and it's shocking, and I hate to admit it, but I'll go to the same spot every night.
Yeah.
They know me there, they know my order, and they sometimes have a little secret menu. They have specials. Street to kitchen in Edo. Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah. I mean, Houston's just got an amazing reputation. They had the Olympic trials there many years ago when Ryan Hall was running, and Des Linden was Des Davila. Remember those days?
Yeah.
So it was very organized.
From the archives.
Yes, the archives. So we're going back here. That's so cool. But thank you for sharing all those. And I'm sure you're gonna miss driving the Envoy and being around the country. But we're all connected here on the telephones.
Absolutely.
Our phones. So
it was an amazing 3 years, and I feel so fortunate to I've visited 45 states now, and met so many people. So
45 states.
45 states.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, can't drive the van to Hawaii and Alaska.
Yeah.
And I didn't quite get up to the Dakotas and Montana, but
sure.
Everywhere else has been ticked off.
Yeah, but on the flip side, though, here we are in Tahoe, and you're able to do this now, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice. So
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so-
Having a bit of time off this summer. As you can imagine, the van is just the highest of highs, but it's also exhausting
Of
at times.
course,
And
of course.
Yeah, living on the road has its has its downsides.
Of course.
So to have a summer off to just reconnect with my friends and family,
Of
and
course.
just running around to the most beautiful spots in the world, and running and relaxing. It's hard to beat.
Well, I think I speak on behalf of the country when I say thank you for everything you did for us, these past couple of years. So
appreciate that,
it was
Rizzo.
nothing like going to, being part of the traveling circus and seeing you. So, it's just always good to catch up. So thank you for that. But I want to talk a little bit about you and your running journey. How did you get into running? You're obviously, I think you're a talented runner. You're so fast. I mean, based on, the shakeout runs I've seen. So, how did you, your running journey?
Thank you. It's, I was actually thinking about this quite a lot on my journey up here. I've had a very fortunate rise up in the sport, I feel. I was not particularly active growing up. Music was my extracurricular, and I avoided sports at all cost. I think especially in England, it's very cold and wet, and I never really wanted to be outside in that. So got through undergraduate, got through college, and just decided to kind of get in shape and kind of sort my life out. And after trying a couple of fad diets and workout regimes, I found running, and it just felt right. It just stuck, and I just kind of fell in love with the sport. So I still remember going for my first run just after college, and just making it through 5K in one go, and just feeling like such a champ.
Like all of us.
Like all of us. Oh, it was incredible. And I could do that on my own. And so I have a very addictive personality. I'm very influenceable, as you'll find if you get to know me better. But I very quickly signed up for a 10K, then a half marathon, and then a marathon, I think within 6 months of that first run. I think being in London especially, marathon tourism was such a fun thing to do. A flight from London to Paris is cheap and quick, and suddenly I have this weekend where I can explore a new city, run a race, celebrate with friends, and then be back and home in time for work the next day. So I did probably 15 to 20 marathons through my 20s, just kind of trying getting in 3 to 4 a year, and some went well, some didn't. I was kind of hovering around like a 310 to 350 range. Pretty sporadically, no trend to that, until finally
You said 315?
315 to 350. Yeah, so just the wide range of the threes, really like dreaming of that sub 3. And eventually I found a club in London, joined them, had a training plan, and broke 3 for the first time, and that was incredible. That was at Valencia Marathon, when you could still get bibs for that.
When you could still get in,
you could still get bibs. And that just opened the door of possibility. I feel one of the most magical things about running is it's something as an adult that you can just work at and get better. The equation is that simple. I feel like there aren't that many things in work, in relationships. You can try harder, but there's no guarantee that it'll actually get you the result you want. Whereas running, it is often that simple, barring injuries or other things. But if you train, if you commit, you will just get better. And as this was all happening, my brother was a really kind of keen runner, but hated city running. So he was pushing me to go do these trail races. And so I kind of went and did, without really knowing what I was signing up for, 100K in Austria, the Mozart 100. A beautiful loop based out of Salzburg, obviously breathing in all of the nature that's in the sound of music, and just where Mozart grew up, what inspired a lot of his music. And that, we kind of ran it together. We were slow and steady and had stomach issues, and our knees were destroyed after all of those climbs and descents.
Sure.
But that opened my eyes to a world of trail, and that was kind of one of my kind of driving forces behind moving to LA. I had visited a lot in my 20s, and I'd always felt an affinity for it. And then as I was getting more interested in trail, it just felt right. I moved in 2021, and my work kind of disappeared in the pandemic. And I was like, oh, sweet, I've got nothing tying me down. Let's move to LA. And suddenly I could run trails all day, every day. And then, found some incredible trail runners in LA because, it's just an amazing community. It's an amazing training ground. So to run with these unbelievable runners just really helped me push. And honestly, to go from just like dreaming of sub 3, feeling like that was the pinnacle, to then joining this run club in London, and seeing people running 2:30 in the marathon, coming to LA and seeing people run 2:20, moving to Boston with Tracksmith and seeing people run 2:15. It really just kind of highlighted to me that your limits are often self-imposed. So to really kind of just believe that it's possible and try, and maybe it'll work out or maybe it won't. But
right.
You won't find out unless you push yourself.
Such is life, right?
Such is life. And honestly, it's been kind of incredible these last 5 years. I've been on a bit of a tear, and I'm suddenly, after putting in, I guess now a decade of volume and training, getting pretty competitive on the trails, and it's really cool. I'm really excited to keep seeing where I can push this and where I can go.
That's amazing. So I'm assuming this weekend we're going to push a little bit.
Oh, I'm going to try. So the Triple Crown is a new beast for me. So it's obviously 3 races on 3 separate days, and I don't really know how my body's going to cope with that. It's also a case of the heat and the altitude. So we're going to push. We're going to see what we can do. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if I completely fall apart. I wouldn't be surprised if I have the weekend of my life. We'll just get out there and see.
Yeah, I think like even tomorrow, the ascent, I don't think anyone really understands what you're doing tomorrow. The elevation gain is maybe...
I think it's 2,800 feet over 3.5 miles.
And the grade is got to be like 28% maybe?
For a lot of it, yeah. I mean, so this is a ski area, Olympic Valley. So a lot of it... so the Broken Arrow, the races that we're running this weekend, obviously more on the trails, and they're still steep.
Yes.
As Rizzo knows from last year.
Yes.
But they're a bit more buffed out. There's a bit more fire road. You can definitely open up your stride from time to time. The ascent, the idea is just to climb those as close to 3,000 feet as you can, as quickly as you can. So it's... crazy. And I think there's a bit in the middle that actually descends a little bit. So that just means that the vert is even more compressed when you're in there.
Yeah, and then even Saturday's run is...
Yeah.
And that's a 46K?
46K with 9,000 feet in.
Yeah, that's huge.
So 2 loops. So you go up and down and up and down, and just trying to survive that, and jump in the creek after, have a little makeshift ice bath, and make it to Sunday in one piece enough to do one more lap.
Yeah, Sunday's going to be like, this is it, easy.
The party lap. Exactly.
Yeah, the victory lap, And all of this is because you're also going to be running in the Bear.
Yes. The Bear 100 in Utah at the end of September. This is a really exciting race. I learned about this through a friend a couple of years back. It's a Hard Rock 100 qualifier, and that's a very small list of races to kind of even just enter the Hard Rock lottery. And they only choose races that are 100 miles or more, very technical, very mountainous, and it's, I guess, to prove that you can go through the rigors of real mountain running before you even attempt Hard Rock. So I was fortunate enough to get in the lottery of the Bear. I've been staying relatively flat and fast so far this year. I think especially, so I was driving the van full time for 2 years, and then more recently I've been based in Boston, but then flying out with the van. Shockingly, van life is not great for training.
No.
So my progress kind of like wavered a bit in those years, but since I moved to Boston and could sleep in my own bed and cook my own meals, things clicked back into place in a really nice way. So this past year and a bit has just been a very kind of rapid growth back up to where I feel my potential is at the minute. So I'm excited to be pretty competitive at the Bear, but I've been focusing on these flatter races up until I guess a month ago. So this is kind of a bit of a kick in the butt to get back into mountain running. The Bear is at altitude in Utah, 100 miles. So I've got a bit of training to do for it, but I'm excited for it.
Big race.
Big race, yeah.
And then Western States 100 is here next week, right? Starts next
weekend.
Friday.
Next Saturday.
I think next Saturday.
Yeah.
And you're going to stick around for that?
I am, yeah. So, so Western States starts here in Olympic Valley and runs point to point through the Sierras to Auburn, just outside of Sacramento. And I think maybe 3 years ago, Dylan Bowman at Free Trail realized that we have Broken Arrow this week, Western States next weekend. Everyone's in town. Why don't we just have this big trail convention in the middle? So I was super excited to come out here to race Broken Arrow, but then stick around for TrailCon. There'll be kind of anyone and everyone will be here, all the brands, all the media outlets, nutrition, accessories, everything. Ultra sign up, like you name it.
The world here.
The world will be here. So I'm excited to just connect with friends and meet new people. And there are parties and shakeouts and you name it all week, which is going to be so much fun. And then culminating in Western States, one of the most competitive 100-milers in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are you going to be pacing anybody up there? Or?
I am not currently, but I've been told there's a bit of a gypsy marketplace where people can kind of volunteer to pace and you can pick up. So I'm kind of, interested to see how my body feels after this weekend. But yeah, if anyone's looking for a pacer, then maybe hit me up and I'd love to jump in.
Absolutely. And then also, obviously leaving Tracksmith, looking for new endeavors, it's the perfect place for you to be.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So to connect and maybe potentially move.
Maybe, exactly. I don't want it to be too transactional here.
Of course
I think
not.
just putting yourself out there and, networking is the most important thing.
Absolutely.
For anything, let alone job searching. So I'm enjoying my free agent summer at the minute, but if the right opportunity presents itself this week, then I won't hesitate to jump on that.
Absolutely. So anything after the bear? You have anything in the...
That's me. I'm getting a lot of stick for moving back to London and then flying. I think I was there for 3 weeks before flying back out here.
Right.
And I'll be in France for a bit in July and then in London for a month before coming back out for the bear. I'll be sticking around for a couple of weeks after that because fortuitously the bear is one weekend and then the following weekend is AC 100 in Los Angeles.
That's right.
So I'll be crewing my coach there, Martin Torres. So I'm excited to be out for that. And then the following weekend is the Kodiak Ultramarathons in Big Bear. So I've got another friend who's running 100 miles there. So I'll be crewing and potentially pacing if I'm recovered enough. My friend Shelby Farrell.
Nice.
But it's just to celebrate the sport, especially the one thing that sucks in Europe is like you really do get a good winter. So trail running kind of closes up shop around October, November until about May, June the following year. So I'm going to breathe it in as much as possible and then figure out what my 2027 race calendar looks like after that.
Do you ski?
Not for a while. I had a really bad accident about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've not skied since then, but who knows? Never say never.
Yeah, right? Same thing. I had a bad accident. Forced me to stop.
Of course.
So I miss it so much.
Yeah, same. I mean, just the mountains, anything we can do to be out here.
Sure.
It's great.
Well, good luck to you in all those races, of course.
Appreciate it.
Where can we find you? Just real quick on Instagram.
Instagram.
To follow all these stories.
Yeah, Strava, I've kind of built up as one of my main social medias as well. I feel like that's such a fun tool. I know a lot of people kind of stay away from it because they don't want that pressure and the kind of the added eyes, but I feel I'm updating it every day with what I'm getting up to and where I'm running and what I'm thinking and feeling. So Instagram and Strava are kind of my main ones. And I guess if you're ever in London, then hit me up. And
Your handles?
At Joachim Cassel.
Cassel on both Strava
both,
and Instagram.
Correct. That was an easy one to grab. Not too many of them out there.
Yeah, that's very easy. We're in the Olympic Village. I'm looking at this, we're surrounded by the rings everywhere here. It's pretty incredible, kind of magical. But it made me think about being in Orlando for the marathon trials. When you were still with Tracksmith, you had a team running. I mean, there was females, males running.
Yeah.
And you guys had a house there and housed all the athletes. What was that environment like?
Oh, That's one of my highlights of my time at Tracksmith, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think one of the marketing pushes that Tracksmith did back in the day was in the 2020 Olympic trials. I think the brand noticed that like Nike and Adidas and On, they kind of want to be on the podium. So they'll generally sponsor who they think are going to be the fastest 2 or 3 people that they can get. And then, I mean, America does the Olympic trials so well. To give this opportunity for hundreds of runners to qualify and then come experience this. And most of them know they're not making the Olympic team, but they can still be a part of history.
Right.
It's so cool. But yeah, suddenly you have these hundreds of runners at the trials that no other brand is interested in. So Tracksmith put out in 2020, we will give a free kit and a training plan to anyone in the trials that wants it. And suddenly, I think that year, 60% of the field was wearing the Tracksmith kit.
Yeah.
And it was impossible to miss. And really kind of launched the brand onto the main stage.
Yeah.
So we did it a little bit differently in 2024. We kind of recruited more of an Olympic trials team. These are people we saw with a lot of, with the potential to kind of really grow in the sport, but maybe didn't have the opportunity to commit themselves fully, whether that was because they had a family or a full-time job or had just only recently gotten into the sport. So we had this amateur support program where we recruited this team about, I think, 6 to 8 months in advance and kind of linked them up with a professional coach. We had training camps, we had nutrition seminars, kind of everything the pros would have, but they would never have access to. Then fast forward to Orlando. So yeah, the Olympic trials happen in January to obviously get the team locked and loaded with more than enough time to then kind of refocus and train for the Olympics. But so you need to train, the trials need to happen somewhere that's going to mimic the climate of the summer. So the international US ATF, whoever's behind it, chose Orlando.
Yes.
So it's hot, it's humid, it's a terrible place to run a marathon.
It was humid that day.
But think of all these runners from Chicago, from New England, from the Pacific Northwest that have been training through harsh winters and now suddenly have to go and run this hot and humid marathon. So we rented out this massive house and flew out all of our athletes, the ones that could come out at least 2 weeks earlier, to have this kind of heat adaptation program and just kind of live and eat and train together for those 2 weeks and really kind of build that team mentality. And so I was there to help, support all the activations around that, and obviously with the van, I kind of drove and did water stops, and we kind of had bottle service so they could practice picking up their bottles. And again, just all of the little details. So yeah, I got to hang out with these unbelievable athletes, these kind of 2:10 marathoners that had full-time jobs. And even at the top end of the sport, every runner I've met has been so just humble and kind and just so happy to be there. And it's amazing to see these just incredible athletes, but just to humanize them and just to live with them as they built their excitement, built up the hype, leading up to those trials.
Amazing, right?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Even I think, like, from an amateur standpoint, on any given marathon, everyone is chasing their goals, whether they be super fast or it's a 5-hour marathon. They're just full of hope, right?
Yeah.
And I can only imagine those athletes just full of hope, because you never know, right?
You never know. Well, and I mean, you see so many examples of this. Like Molly Seidel's obviously an incredible runner, but she had no idea she was going to qualify for the Olympics back in 2020. And then I think even in Orlando, we had some guys coming out of nowhere to make the team and to fly out to Tokyo. It's crazy. And just like the belief, the rings, it really means something. So to be a part of that and to kind of secondhand get to experience that, it was really magical.
And I'm sure inspiring you as a runner too, right?
Oh, 100%. And again, it's this perceived limits thing, right? These are just ordinary guys and girls that are just rocking up and doing 110-mile weeks with a family, with a full-time job.
Amazing.
And really just pushing their limits and figuring out what's possible.
Yeah.
It's so inspiring.
So inspiring. And that year in Orlando, we had the female running pregnant. She was dead last. I mean, she was nowhere near, but just to be in the trials, pregnant was incredible.
Well, and I mean, I teared up watching her run by. I mean, you remember the crowd support, it was so thick. And I mean, it's so cool to be there and experience it. So you see these like really fast people come through. You see these people that are struggling, but they're just there to have a good time. And then, yeah, as you said, like a big gap. And then just this woman who's, like 8 months pregnant, but was never going to pass up the opportunity to be there. Yeah. So she just runs through just with the biggest smile, the most joy in her eyes. And it was
incredible.
Moment.
Yeah. The crowds cheered probably louder for her than Connor Metz.
So. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, good times, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm sure that at the Olympic trials in Eugene recently, when I was with you, you had a house there as well, right?
Yep.
And same energy, same stories.
Yeah, and it was so interesting because obviously Tracksmith was built around the kind of the amateur spirit, which is a lot more focused on marathons. You don't find too many kind of 30-year-olds still chasing like a 3K or a 5K. But then, again, to kind of expand our amateur support program, we brought in these shorter distance runners, these field athletes. We had an incredible shot putter that made it to the Olympics. And so we housed them and kind of, again, had this hub in Eugene. So the Olympic trials runs for, I think, 10 straight days. And so you kind of have different disciplines coming in and out of the city, depending on when they're qualifying, when their finals is. So to kind of be there and allow them to have a space to kind of unwind and eat and train. And some of the most magical moments to celebrate when they made a team, like
amazing.
I think, popping champagne with these athletes at 2 a.m. in our house after they'd finally kind of got through their event, had their drug test, like showered and came over to just breathe it all in.
Priceless moments.
Yeah,
and I'm sure someone was capturing that on film, and it'd be a great documentary. And
100%.
Incredible.
And I don't know if you've seen it, but our current iteration of the amateur support program is our Stomata team. So we're sponsoring a group of, I believe, 18 ladies who are chasing the Olympic trials qualifier. And again, we had this footage from Eugene from the build up to that. And it was kind of all on just like phones and kind of that archival-esque like raw footage. And I think we tried to do something with it and it didn't quite click. And we just thought, let's really bring this together and tell the story of these amazing women. So we're kind of targeting 2 marathons every year and really documenting the training and the strife and the traveling and the stories of these amazing women. So that's all on YouTube.
Sure. CIM last year when they were going for it, it was an absolutely incredible to watch that big group running together.
Yeah, and obviously so locked on the 2:37 time for women. I obviously kind of saw all of their content, but what really kind of made me get emotional was seeing all of these kind of other people from the LA run community, just from people I knew back in London, who had kind of just joined this kind of train, just going full speed at 2:37.
It was incredible.
Oh, it's so cool.
And who's there running with them with long basketball shorts? Courtney Dauwalter. Just cruising.
Part of the team.
Just a phenomenal athlete, right? Just incredible. Just out there having a great time.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, she does every distance, every surface. She's amazing. She had some incredible marathons last year.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. So you're back in London. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts? We were talking off camera here. I ran London last month. It was so amazing. I've never experienced anything like that. What are your thoughts? You lived there. This, your hometown. 2-day event. I mean, will work?
I hope so. I'm really excited for it. I mean, I think as everyone has seen, it's a crazy lottery. I think 1.2 million people for a 50,000 person race. And obviously a lot of that goes to qualifiers and charity runners.
Yes.
So I think the lottery maybe only has 30,000 places.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's like 3% chance of getting in.
Yes.
So I mean, anything we can do to open it up and have more people, I think is a great move. There's gonna be a lot of controversy. There's gonna be a lot of questionable decisions.
Sure.
You need to obviously figure out when the elite races are gonna go. You need to figure out if people want to run with their friends. How do you organize that?
Yeah.
So I can see some people kind of missing out on the experience they want, but I think in general this is going to be a great thing.
Yeah, let's hope, right?
Let's hope.
Yeah, I think the ultimate winners that weekend will be the charities, of course, and you can't go wrong. It will raise over 100 million from the things I've read, and that is just like the most beautiful thing ever, right? That we can do this through the sport we love, right? And organizers can generate this kind of revenue. So
London's already the biggest fundraising event in the world.
Yeah.
So if you have an opportunity to double that up, incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. I did a podcast on this, like broke it down from, politics to, I think the biggest question was, will it dilute the experience of one day? Like how do you, like you mentioned, how do you run the elites? Do they run together on one day? Is there just men on one day, women on one day? TV rights, how does that work? Brand sponsorships, it's a big endeavor, right?
It's huge, and I hope that London Marathon events have thought about all of that, because I can see how easy it would be to kind of make those missteps. It's going to be tough, and even just the logistics of it. Are they going to keep the city closed overnight on Saturday? Are they going to kind of open things back up just to then close it? And
right.
It's a huge undertaking, but I mean, again, if they make it work, if people come away with this with the experience that they want, then this could open the door to these other massively oversubscribed marathons to do something similar, and again, just open up the sport to more people, which I think is great.
Yeah, and you haven't run London yet.
No, I was supposed to in 2020, but the pandemic hit at just the wrong time.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm excited to get back at it.
Sure.
I've wanted to get back there since that race got cancelled, and I want to do it justice. And obviously, it's my hometown race with my people there. So,
wow, your hometown, the ship, the Cutty Sark.
Yeah,
is it? I've never experienced anything like that in my life. I was just like, what is this? The support, the music. I just can't even put into words.
Yeah.
Incredible.
No, 100%. And I mean, every major marathon, people talk about how incredible the atmosphere is, but as someone who's now been to a lot of them, I think going to London with Tracksmith a couple of years ago, I had to get out and do my run before the race started so I can get back to the track house and kind of help support all of the kind of activations and parties we were doing. But even kind of 2 hours before the race started, the crowds were already there. They were thick, they were excited, they were hype, and like the support I was getting just kind of running my easy run on the course over to the track house, that was magic. And so to kind of up that by, I guess, a factor of 10 for the race itself, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I thought it was a hard course. I mean, I didn't think it was that easy the way people always say. I thought it was kind of challenging, especially the Allenback. I know in LA they complain about the Allenback, and I tell all runners, do not look to your left on the Allenback. And I looked to the left in London. I don't know why. It killed me.
It's tough.
It was a tough race.
Yeah.
A fun, challenging race. But
yeah, and I think you've kind of just got to like mentally block that out when you're doing it. I think it's also difficult, the Canary Wharf, the area of that kind of extra loop, the out and back, it's not what you think of when you think of London.
Yeah, so that's true.
Like if it was some kind of beautiful area with lots of monuments, I feel like that would be kind of the dream, but you're in the financial district, your GPS is going wild.
Yes.
And then finally you get out and I think there's just 5K of pretty core central London to, well, hopefully you've got the energy to really enjoy that.
Hurting.
Yeah, it's a tough ask.
Yeah, hurting.
Yeah.
Jared from Asics, he was running and I passed him. I'm like, come on, Jared, let's go. We were at mile 25. And he's like, where are we? He was in so much pain.
Well, and I mean, it's just been getting hotter and hotter, which hasn't helped anything.
Yeah, it was warm. Yeah. Going back to the 2-day, on my podcast, I said, I cannot wait for the running bro who's running on both days and puts it all over Instagram.
And run it back on the Saturday night as well.
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be perfect.
I'm looking forward to that story the most. Yeah. So, Joaquin, we could probably talk forever.
I'm sure.
And so we're going to do this in 2 parts. We're going to do it again when you're back in LA because I wanted to get back into some of the Boston stuff, but BAA, but we got plenty of time and you're going to be back in LA. So, we'll work on that. But again, good luck to you this weekend. It's going to be amazing. Obviously, good luck to you and your new endeavors. Obviously you're going to find the right brand or company to work with. And, again, like I said, I think on behalf of the country, we thank you for, always being there for us. And every shakeout run in every major city it's been an honor.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I appreciate it. And it's always a joy to see you and to catch up. And I'm glad we had this opportunity.
Yeah. And again, if they wanted to follow you, it's very easy. Joachim Cassel on
Strava. We'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put it right here on the screen so you can see. And we'll also put Tracksmith. I have a quick question. Do you wear Tracksmith?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's the greatest shirt ever.
It's the greatest shirt ever. I'll be racing in the turnover half tights all weekend.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Speed Crew socks now.
Yeah.
And I'll be in the Strata singlet on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
For hopefully my triumphant finish.
Yeah. So. I mean, I've been running forever, as I said, but when I wore a Tracksmith for the first time, I was like, this is the shirt I've been looking for forever. Like, it's just breathes so well.
It's a phenomenal brand. I feel one of its biggest issues is not being that self-promoting. And our creative director for many years, an unbelievably talented man, always pushed this, that the clothes should speak for themselves, which is a very un-American thing. But I think, check out the Twilight t-shirt is so light. The Strata is incredible to run in. The Turnover half tights, since I've tried them on, I don't think I've run in anything else. And it's good quality. It lasts. It's understated. It's, still one of my favorite brands.
Yeah, and coming soon to the Tracksmith, the Rizzo cut off at the sleeve.
You got to cut off the sleeve.
Yeah, but again, thank you. Good luck this weekend. And we will see you back in LA soon. So,
amazing. Can't wait. And thank you again.
Let's go.
Let's go.